My name is Rachel, and this is the story of how my sister-in-law, Amanda, managed to ruin my daughter Emily's birthday and how karma finally had its moment. Amanda was one of those people who seemed flawless to the outside world. Picture perfect house, curated outfits, and an Instagram feed that screamed #goals. Meanwhile, I was just trying to survive raising 2 kids while juggling a full-time job. I met Amanda when I started dating James, her brother. Back then, she was a lifestyle blogger just getting her start, posting about clean eating and minimalism. By the time James and I got married, Amanda had blown up. Over 100,000 followers and a thriving influencer career. Rachel, honey, she'd say at family dinners, you should try my green smoothie cleanse. It might help with. Her hand would wave vaguely over me like I was a DIY project in desperate need of fixing. For James's sake, I smiled and nodded. He adored his sister, blind to her constant passive-aggressive digs. When our daughter Emily was born 6 years ago, Amanda, childless at the time, transformed into an unsolicited parenting expert. Screen time before 5, studies show, or store-bought baby food. I'll send you my recipes. And then, Amanda had her miracle baby. After years of trying, she and her husband welcomed Sophie. Overnight, Amanda rebranded her entire social media presence to focus on motherhood, becoming the self-proclaimed authority on all things baby. Emily adored the idea of having a cousin. She'd draw pictures for Sophie, talking nonstop about all the games they'd play. But when Sophie was born 3 months ago, family gatherings turned into photo shoots for Amanda's Instagram. Sophie in designer onesies, Sophie's nursery in home and style, Sophie's organic baby yoga. Meanwhile, Emily was ignored, her drawings dismissed, her school stories shushed because Sophie needed quiet. Then came Emily's 6th birthday. She wanted a unicorn-themed party, and I went all out, homemade decorations, games, the works. That morning, as I set up the backyard, Amanda called. Rachel, I hope it's okay, I'm bringing my photographer. She's doing a feature on Sophie's first social events for my blog. Before I could say no, she hung up. James, ever the peacemaker, said, it's just one day, honey. Let her have this. The party began at 2 p.m., and Emily was overjoyed, twirling in her unicorn dress and greeting her friends. Everything was perfect until Amanda arrived an hour late with not just a photographer, but an entire camera crew. It's for a sponsorship deal, she said, waving them toward the decorations. Just act natural. Emily was midway through opening her presents when Amanda clapped her hands. Everyone, gather around Sophie. She's about to demonstrate organic baby yoga. The crew swarmed Amanda and Sophie, shoving Emily and her friends aside. Emily dropped her gift, her face falling. But it's my birthday, she whispered. Amanda didn't even look at her. Sweetie, the grown-ups are working. Why don't you and your little friends play somewhere else? It got worse. Amanda had dressed Sophie in a mini unicorn outfit, complete with a horn. Look at her. She's the real unicorn princess. She gushed to the cameras. Emily ran inside, tears streaming. I found her curled up in her room, clutching her stuffed unicorn. Mommy, why doesn't Aunt Amanda like me? She sobbed. My heart broke. Outside, Amanda's voice carried through the window. Make sure you get Sophie's good side with the cake. The other kids? Oh, they're just extras. The party fizzled out as uncomfortable parents took their kids home early. Emily never even got to blow out her candles. Amanda had the crew film Sophie helping instead. That night, as Emily cried herself to sleep, I stared at Amanda's latest Instagram post, magical day at a unicorn-themed party. Sophie's first social event was a huge success. #blessedmama, #perfectday, #sponsored content. The comments were pouring in. Amazing mom. Sophie is the cutest. What a beautiful party. I was about to close my laptop when a message popped up. It was from someone named Maria. I know the truth about Amanda. Call me. I hesitated, then picked up my phone. Maria answered on the first ring. I've been waiting for someone to stand up to her, she said. I was Amanda's assistant for 2 years. I have proof, fake sponsorships, staged photos, lies about her pregnancy. Everything. My pulse quickened. Tell me more. Meet me tomorrow at the coffee shop on Main Street, Maria said. Bring a USB drive. You'll want to save these files. I looked at the photos from Emily's ruined party scattered across my desk. Amanda had hijacked my daughter's special day, but this time she wasn't going to get away with it. As I hung up, I thought about what my grandmother used to say: patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. I glanced at Emily's tear-stained unicorn dress hanging on her door. 3 months until my own birthday, and this time, Amanda would learn what it felt like to be upstaged. The next morning, I met Maria at the coffee shop. She was younger than I'd imagined, probably mid-20s, with tired eyes and perfectly polished nails. A subtle relic of her time working with Amanda, no doubt. "Everything's here," she said, sliding a USB drive across the table. "Emails, contracts, texts, photos. 3 years of deceit and manipulation." That night, after putting Emily to bed, I plugged the USB drive into my laptop and began sifting through the files. What I uncovered left me seething. Amanda's picture-perfect life was a meticulously crafted illusion. Her blog? A patchwork of fabricated product reviews for things she never used. Her miracle pregnancy. Amanda had used a surrogate, silenced with a non-disclosure agreement, while maintaining the charade of carrying Sophie herself. Even her marriage to Tom wasn't what it seemed. Email exchanges revealed their partnership was more of a business transaction than a relationship. But the most infuriating discovery lay in a folder titled Family Events. It contained detailed plans for every family gathering, including Emily's birthday party. Amanda hadn't just hijacked the day on a whim. She had orchestrated the entire fiasco, from the camera crew's arrival to the moment she pushed Emily aside for Sophie's debut. The next week, I meticulously compiled the evidence. Screenshots, videos, email chains. Everything was carefully arranged, with annotations and timestamps. All while Amanda remained blissfully unaware, busy flaunting her fabricated life online. When I announced my plans for a grand birthday celebration, James looked surprised. "A big party? That's not like you," he remarked. "I think it's time I made an effort," I said, echoing Amanda's oft-repeated advice. He smiled, unaware of the storm brewing beneath my calm demeanor. Invitations were sent out, lavish and detailed, with Amanda's favorite buzzwords like elevated elegance and photographer on-site sprinkled throughout. Amanda RSVP'd within the hour. "Can't wait. Sophie and I will be coordinating our outfits, #family goals." The day before the party, Amanda texted, "Should I bring my usual camera crew? They're great at capturing candid moments." "Thanks, but I've already hired someone," I replied sweetly. The party was set for 7 p.m. The event space was stylish but understated, just the kind of venue Amanda loved to flaunt. By 6:30, everything was ready. Guests mingled, and Amanda arrived on time, Sophie dressed in a miniature version of her designer gown. "Rachel, darling," Amanda greeted, air kissing my cheeks. "This is lovely, though next time, let me put you in touch with my planner." I smiled. "Oh, don't worry. Tonight will be unforgettable." By 8 p.m., the room was buzzing. Amanda basked in the attention, Sophie perched on her hip as cameras flashed. I clinked my glass for silence. "Thank you all for coming," I began. "Before we cut the cake, I wanted to share a little something, a highlight reel of family moments." Amanda beamed, clearly expecting a montage of her curated perfection. The lights dimmed and the projector lit up. The first image appeared, a behind-the-scenes clip of Emily's birthday party. Amanda brushed past Emily, camera crew in tow, as my daughter looked heartbroken. "Wait," Amanda's voice cracked, but the video rolled on. Next came emails discussing her fake pregnancy narrative. A photo showed her surrogate's blurred-out face beside Amanda cradling a false baby bump. The timeline proved she was posting progress photos months before Sophie was born. Then came emails and contracts exposing fraudulent sponsorship deals. One text exchange read, "Just post the review. I don't care if it's trash." The check cleared. The final image lingered on the screen. Emily on her birthday, clutching her unicorn, tears streaming down her face. "You see," I said calmly, turning to Amanda, "it's one thing to fake a life online, but it's another to hurt my daughter for your content." Amanda stood frozen, clutching Sophie. "This is slander," she stammered. "You'll hear from my lawyer." "I already have," I said, holding up a folder. "He's seen it all. Tax evasion, fraudulent contracts, NDAs. You might want to call him about that." The room buzzed with murmurs. Phones were out, recording every moment. Amanda's audience, her precious sponsors and followers, saw everything. Her mask had slipped, and there was no going back. "Happy birthday to me," I said, raising my glass as Amanda bolted for the door. The fallout was swift. Amanda's Instagram vanished within hours. Sponsors released statements cutting ties. Her blog domain redirected to an error page. The empire she built on lies crumbled overnight. The next morning, Emily climbed onto my lap as I scrolled through the aftermath. "Mommy, is Aunt Amanda gone?" I hugged her close. "Sometimes people pretend to be something they're not, sweetie, but the truth always comes out." Emily thought for a moment. "Like in The Little Mermaid, when Ursula got caught being mean." "Exactly," I said, brushing her hair back. "Can we have a unicorn party again? Just us?" I kissed her forehead. "That sounds perfect." And it was. A week after my birthday party revelation, the ripple effects of Amanda's downfall were still spreading through the family. Her sponsors were demanding refunds, accusing her of violating contracts. The glossy lifestyle magazine that had showcased Sophie's designer nursery quietly pulled the feature, while her organic baby food endorsement disappeared overnight. The empire Amanda had so meticulously built had crumbled in mere days. I hadn't heard from Amanda directly, but the family grapevine was alive with updates. She'd moved in with her parents, claiming she needed time to heal during this unjust ordeal. Tom, her husband, had already packed his bags and left, no longer interested in keeping up appearances now that the spotlight was off. James, on the other hand, was grappling with the weight of the revelations. One night, as we sat in a living room, he sighed. "I can't wrap my head around it. She faked the whole pregnancy. Every photo, every story. I helped put together that nursery. Was any of it real?" Emily, surprisingly, was the one who seemed to handle it best. One evening, she climbed onto my lap and asked, "Can Sophie still come play sometimes?" Even if Aunt Amanda wasn't nice, Sophie didn't do anything wrong, right? Her words struck a chord. In all of this, I focused so much on exposing Amanda's lies that I hadn't fully thought about Sophie, a little girl who had been nothing more than a prop in her mother's performance, but still an innocent child who didn't deserve to pay the price. Then, just as things were beginning to calm, Maria sent me a text. "Amanda's planning a comeback. She says you twisted everything and made her the villain. She's writing a tell-all post and claims she has proof you've been jealous of her for years." I wasn't concerned. I still have the USB drive with all the evidence, but I was exhausted by the drama, the lies, and the constant cycle of confrontation. So I made a decision to take a different approach. I posted a simple message on my quiet, rarely used social media account. Family isn't about picture-perfect moments or curated content. It's about love, honesty, and protecting those who can't protect themselves. Emily and Sophie deserve better than to grow up in a world of lies. This ends here. I attached one photo, nothing damning, nothing dramatic. Just a candid shot of Emily and Sophie at a family picnic months ago, laughing together in the grass. Two little girls, unburdened by the chaos of adulthood, simply enjoying each other's company. The response was swift and decisive. Amanda's remaining supporters fell silent, and her planned comeback fizzled out before it even began. Sometimes, all it takes to cut through the noise is a quiet truth. 3 months later, life looks different. Amanda has started therapy, real therapy this time, not the kind she used to promote for likes. She's living in a modest apartment and working a regular job. Sophie spends weekends with us now, and Emily loves teaching her about unicorns and hosting tea parties. Last week, I received a letter from Amanda. No fancy stationery, no flawless handwriting. Just plain words on plain paper.